He doesn't throw a big party. His celebration is enraged. The Viking striker who made goal-scoring a rallying cry was Erling Haaland. His goals are like thunder reverberating through football stadiums all across the world. Not only is Haaland revolutionizing football, but he is also conquering it with fire in his boots and ice in his veins. He is large, swift, vicious, and entirely intent on destroying records, expectations, and defenses. This is more than just a football player's narrative, since it takes place from a little Norwegian village to the greatest arenas in the Premier League. It's a Viking saga designed with goals in mind. Erling Haaland, the striker designed for chaos, accuracy, and grandeur, is on the rise. History and early life. In July 2000, Erling Braut Haaland was born in Leeds, England. At the time, his father, Alf Inge Haaland, was a football player for Leeds United in the Premier League. Erling's path was forged via obsession and dedication. It wasn't handed to him, even though football was already in his blood. Erling was raised in the tiny town of Brein after his family moved back to Norway. His extraordinary attention started to develop there. He was always the most diligent child on the field, even if he wasn't the loudest or most showy. Haaland was out training, running up hills, performing strength exercises, and learning how the world's top athletes trained, while the majority of youngsters slept in. His role model was Cristiano Ronaldo. Haaland imitated his recuperation, eating, and sleeping patterns. He thought of his body as a machine that needed to be adjusted to be outstanding. He made his senior debut for Brein FK at the age of 15. His coaches described him as different. They witnessed extraordinary speed, raw power, and a mind that was entirely focused on getting better. Haaland had no aspirations for notoriety or admirers. Goals were the only thing he desired, and he would do whatever it took to acquire them. Dortmund and Salzburg Breakout. Haaland's journey took a significant turn in 2019. He joined Red Bull Salzburg, one of the most dynamic youth teams in Europe. It was not long before the world became aware of him. A hat trick was scored by Haaland in his Champions League debut. He made sure everyone knew that the Norwegian youth had arrived. With 8 goals in 6 games at the end of the group stage, he was among the competition's leading scorers. He was nearly unstoppable due to his size, speed, and accuracy. Defenders were unable to keep up. Goalies were unable to respond quickly enough. The big move to Borussia Dortmund came next. The Bundesliga. Greater expectations, greater attention, and a more competitive league. It didn't matter. Haaland scored 41 goals in 41 games during his debut season. He gained notoriety for his lethal effectiveness. Just a single touch, just one shot, one objective. Haaland wasn't a fancy football player. He was a brutal football player. He was clinical, straightforward, and frighteningly reliable. He didn't spend time on showboating or stunts. His game was based on execution and simplicity. He was a striker who needed little effort to overwhelm defenders. Every objective seemed inescapable. Each game was like a hunt. Because everyone understood that this child wasn't normal, the biggest teams in Europe soon began to show interest. Domination in the Premier League and Manchester City. Erling Haaland joined Manchester City in 2022. The transfer rocked the world of football. Supporters questioned how he would fit with Pep Guardiola's intricate scheme. Could a striker with such instincts and directness flourish under a technical coach like that? The response was quicker than anyone had anticipated. Haaland broke every record in his first season in the Premier League. 36 goals in the league. The Champions League has 12 more. 52 overall throughout all competitions. He accomplished it with a startling ease. Manchester City dominated, not simply won. They accomplished an unprecedented treble, the Premier League, the FA Cup, and the Champions League, with Haaland leading the way. And in the middle of it all was Haaland, a Viking at the vanguard. Mythology and mentality. Haaland's mentality is what really sets him apart from the others. Not only his physical attributes or finishing, he is disciplined like a monk. He practices meditation daily. He keeps an eye on his breathing, pulse rate, and sleep habits. He doesn't speak to make an impression. He speaks to get an advantage. Every response and gesture is composed, in control, and self-assured. And his picture? It is directly from Norse mythology. His tall body, piercing blue eyes, and long blonde hair give him the appearance of a Viking warrior resurrected. Although he is referred to by fans as the Terminator, he feels more like a living embodiment of a legend, a contemporary Thor holding a football. Haaland is more than just a goal scorer. Each chapter of the myth he writes is louder than the one before it. History and prospects. Even though Erling Haaland is just beginning his journey, his legacy is already beginning to take shape. He has become as one of the most dreaded strikers in contemporary football in a matter of seasons. He isn't trying to get attention. He is followed by the spotlight. Additionally, as football develops, his presence serves as a reminder that, in a culture that is fixated on flair, sheer power, discipline, and focus still triumph. The Viking striker will not be taking part. He is here to win. And he gets closer to immortality with each goal he scores. Erling Haaland's journey from a child from a little hamlet in Brine to a world-renowned figure at Manchester City is quite remarkable. He is the epitome of destiny, dominance, and discipline. He not only plays football, but excels at it. His tale is not yet complete. One objective at a time, it is currently being written. And if history has taught us anything, it's that the world should be on guard when a Viking sets his sights on glory. This is the Viking striker, Erling Haaland. Designed with objectives in mind, designed to be exceptional, designed to dominate. For more amazing sports experiences like this one, remember to hit the like button, subscribe, and enable notifications if you like this story. Don't miss the beginning of the story of the next legend.